So the Metro Vancouver market, detached homes, there was 500 sales last month. Sales are down 14% year over year. The benchmark is sitting at 2,048,000. It's up 1.8% year over year, but down 0.1% month over month. And we've had these little decreases happening. So stay tuned to see what's next. Townhomes sales last month, 370. Sales are down 12% year over year. Your benchmark price is sitting at 1,119,000. Benchmark price is up 0.8% year over year. And the benchmark month over month is just down 0.5%. Again, it's pretty much flat. Condos, 1,012 sales last month, down 20% year over year. Higher double-digit slowdown in condo sales. Benchmark price is sitting at 768. Your benchmark price year over year is surprisingly up 0.1% and flat month over month. So that kind of just gives you an idea of the benchmarks. But of course, we need to get into those market segments. And today we're going to take a look at the Vancouver detached market to see what's happening there. So here we have the blue chart is the amount of inventory coming on, and you can see from last July, this is last year, steady eddy, decreasing in December. It's the fall, not a lot of people list, and then we come into our spring market traditionally when we see a lot more inventory. However, then you can see this orange line, which is our sales, and you can see the sales were pretty decent last July, around about 90 sales, and then they kind of drift down, the second busiest time of the year going into the winter. And then they really had a good run here in the spring. And as we've headed into the summer, they've tapered off. But what you can see here is that they really have tapered off. And in fact, compared to the amount of inventory that's coming on, there's actually a lot of inventory accumulating in this market segment. So if you have been thinking about detached homes, listen up. And here's where we can put this all into perspective. This column here is the months of inventory. So you can see about a year ago, we were sitting at about 5 months of inventory, neither favoring sellers or buyers. And throughout the year, it drifted up into months of inventory that tightened up. Obviously, that makes sense seasonally as we head into the fall here, right? This is basically where we're at right now a year ago, but this is where we are today. And you can see how that the months of inventory has taken a significant jump, over 12 months of inventory as of August. And what has also been interesting is we haven't actually seen a lot of detached sales come through. In fact, so far, there's only been 4 reported detached sales this month. Sometimes it takes time for the sales to show up, particularly after coming out of the summer, because again, the activity doesn't happen in August. It usually starts again in September. And then you start to see people getting out there, putting out offers, doing the subject removals, and then the properties are reported as sold. And so we get a lot more of the sales towards the end of the month and into October. But this is an interesting place to be in the detached market. And you can also see what's happening here with prices. The benchmark price about a year ago was just under 1.9, jumped up just a little bit here. And then it softened going into the spring of this year. It kind of regained a little bit. And of course, these swings here, we're looking at between like 1.8 and 1.9. So, we're really looking at a $10,000 difference. So very much a stable benchmark price. However, you can see we started tapering off here and we're sitting here at this 1.87 mark. And with that inventory building up, here's the scoop. If it happens to be that this inventory continues to climb, and we've seen a lot more properties coming on the market. It's fall, it's September. This is now the second most active time of the year where it's expected to see more listings coming on the market. And the demand does not keep up, where we are going to see further accumulation of inventory, which should probably put a bit of a downward pressure on prices. But the caveat here is the interest rates, because if you wait for lower interest rates, you could actually still end up paying more if you're trying to secure a home at a lower price once you do some of the math. So what could be an opportune time for any buyer that was thinking about getting in the detached market, whether it's now or 3 months from now? We don't know what this interest rate downward cycle is going to do. One would presume that the market's going to pick up and then we're starting to see prices go up. But right now is kind of an opportune time where there is a lot of inventory. The market isn't moving too fast, too quickly, and therefore the upward pressure on prices hasn't showed up, and can be an excellent time for you to negotiate on a detached property on the east side. And interestingly enough, we'll take a look at the next segment in Vancouver East, and that's the townhome segment, which seems to be performing quite well. And part of that might have to do with the fact that interest rates are still keeping home buyers out of that higher $2 million mark and being forced into this lower range, call it around that 1.5, 1.1 to 1.5-ish range. And in fact, we just sold a townhouse on the Vancouver East side in multiple offers, and two more listings came up in that same complex. And lo and behold, the last one to come on the market also received multiple offers. So we sold our property with multiple offers, and so did the other property. It received 4 offers and sold at a record-breaking price like ours in the complex. And there was one other sale that occurred as well with a very strong price. Interestingly enough, in these townhomes being around that $1.5 million range is really closing the gap there when you think about that 1.9-ish mark for the detached homes. And this market seems a lot stronger. Look at the inventory here. While there's some inventory increasing, it's starting to come off, but the sales, while they really came up, they pulled off a little bit, but you can see that they're also steady and more increasing versus falling off a cliff. So if you're someone with a townhome, this might be your opportunity to get an evaluation on where things are at for your particular product and see if you're able to close that gap and go from the townhouse market into the detached market. Pretty cool. Haven't seen this for a while. And here's that benchmark price. Look at that. Softened up a little bit. Again, we're looking at 1.140 all the way down to $1.6 million here. So about an $80,000 swing here in price range, but you can see it's holding on really strong and it doesn't look like that benchmark is softening up. East Van months of inventory, as you can see, also below that 4 months of inventory. So that's looking great for the east side townhomes. This market segment really is performing very well. So if you're actually trying to move from a condo into a townhouse, that's where this is the segment where you have to be prepared to make your moves. So Vancouver East condos, what's happening there? Here you can see we had lowering into the fall of inventory. Now we've been seeing a rise in inventory, the blue bars. Sales are slowing down a little bit. Months of inventory, this is probably very extreme, but we're going from like, say, balanced market, 4.5 months of inventory up to 6 months of inventory. So now you're just getting into that buyer's market territory. And here you can see the benchmark price between 720 and about 705. So there's been a little bit of weakness. And if that inventory continues to accumulate, as we discussed, this could also be your opportunity to get into that condo market if you're a first-time home buyer or wanting to make a switch. So that's something to consider as well. I'm Christine Kopr with Sotheby's Realty in Vancouver, BC. I hope you enjoyed this Vancouver market update. Make sure you stay tuned for more updates like these and check in with us next month and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and join our newsletter list because we do send different types of opportunities and information on the various channels. And oh, make sure you like and subscribe to our Instagram channel. Thanks so much. Talk to you next month.